This morning I'm just out here at the edge of our woods, and I have this honeysuckle growing over this old swing frame, and I am pulling the petals off of here, the ones that are open, and I'm going to gather up a bowl of these, and then we're going to go inside and we're going to make some honeysuckle jelly. And if you don't have any, you can get these in the woods. Just be careful because poison ivy likes to grow around this stuff, and I am so allergic to that. And so if anybody else is, just be careful when you're gathering these. But and I'm kind of fighting with the honeybees over here too this morning because they really like these things. So I'm going to try to work around them and gather some more of these, and we'll go inside and we'll make some jelly. Okay, we're back in the kitchen, and I've got all of my honeysuckle petals, and I brought them all in, and that plastic bowl that I took out there with me was about this size, and it had a little bit more than this, and I took a little bit out. I measured about 5 cups after I lightly packed them in the cup. And so that's what I have in this particular recipe is going to be 5 cups of honeysuckle petals. I brought them in and I took all the leaves off. This is all my scraps, if you can see them. I took all the leaves off and the bad flowers and everything, and I found a worm, a little inchworm. So make sure you wash your flowers, okay, so that they're clean and we don't transfer anything into the jars when we can them, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my water. I put there's probably about 6 cups of water in here, okay? And I'm gonna put it on the stove and I'm gonna bring it to a boil. And when it comes to a boil, I'm gonna pour these in it. And then I'm gonna stir them around in there for a second, and then I'm gonna put the lid on my pan and I'm gonna push it back on the stove, and I am going to let it steep for a couple of hours. About 2 hours or a little long, give or take a little. You don't have to be exactly right on, okay? And then when that's done, we will come back and I will show you how we're going to turn that tea into jelly, honeysuckle jelly, okay? So I'll be back in just a little bit when this gets done. Okay, it's been a couple hours, and we're going to check on our honeysuckle petals that's been steeping. That's what it looks like after it's steeped for a couple of hours. So let me get you back up here. I'm going to try to do this where you can see kind of what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm going to strain it. I'm going to strain it with a strainer, and I'm going to do this twice, and I'll show you why. Okay, the first time we're going to put it through here, and that's going to catch all your flowers, right? And we want to get all that tea out of there, all those flowers, so we can press that liquid out. Y'all ever had honeysuckle tea? Y'all ever sucked on these when you was kids? That was a real treat. If you found some of this and you put it in your mouth and sucked that juice out of it, it was so good. I haven't done that in a long time. I've got them in my yard. Okay, so you see what I'm doing here? I'm just pressing on this, and I'm getting all that juice out of there, or, from the flower. We want the good stuff. Now I've got this bowl. You can use any bowl you want. I'm gonna put this back in it. A lot of people use cheesecloth. Well, I use what I got to get by because stuff's expensive anymore, right? And I can't afford that cheesecloth. Have you seen how much that is at the store? So I use my thinner flour sack towels, okay? And they wash up real good with bleach and water, all right? So I'm gonna put that right in there like that. I'm just gonna set that just like you would cheesecloth, you guys. This works like a dream. And you can buy these fairly cheap so far. So I'm pretty stocked up on them because I use them for everything. So now I'm going to take this. Well, you know what? I got to measure. All right, so I'm just going to pour this liquid through this towel to about 4.5 cups. Okay, that's it. Now that's just I probably probably got everything the first time, right? But that's just to catch anything else that might be floating around in there that we don't want, okay? Now I'm just gonna set this aside on the counter. And here's our tea. This is our honeysuckle tea. It still smells like honeysuckle. So we're gonna set it aside. I'm gonna keep this. I've still got quite a bit in here, y'all. So I'll probably just keep this and make another batch later, maybe. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna shut this off and I'm gonna go clean this pan out, and I'm gonna put my tea in here, and I'm gonna bring it up with my lemon juice. I'm gonna put my tea, my lemon juice, and my sugar gel in here, and I'm gonna bring it up to a boil. And then after we bring it up to a boil, we'll put the sugar in and we'll go from there. But I'll show you when I get to that point. Let me go clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I already put my lemon in here, and this is getting warm, so I'm going to get you back on here. And I'm going to put this sugar gel in here. I'll show you which one I used here in a minute. The yellow box, the original. If you want to do the other one and use less sugar, you can do that. I don't eat much jelly anymore. Me and my husband, neither one eat a lot of sugar anymore. I have made the sugar-free kind, and with the fruit, it's okay. It's all right. We just don't eat a whole lot of sweet stuff anymore. But I still like to make it, and we still kind of sell it here and there. So, got all that. Now, I've been making jelly for a long time, but I always have my directions right here beside me, because I have had it not turn out before, not very often, but it does occasionally happen, so don't panic if it does. It's usually fixable if you run into a problem of it not setting up. So we're going to bring this to a rolling boil until you stir it and you can't stir down the bubbles, okay? This is our tea, honeysuckle tea. We're going to bring that to a boil. I'm going to let it sit there for a minute, so maybe I'll hurry up if I quit stirring it. But then we're going to have to stir it because we don't want it to stick. Don't want it to burn to the bottom. That would be bad. You have more chance of that doing it when we put the sugar in. And I'll tell you while this is doing this, I use the organic sugar, the brown sugar. You can use white sugar, that's fine. I like the organic stuff better. Okay, it's almost there. Yep, okay, it's there. So now we're gonna put the sugar in. Let's see if I can do this. This is 4.5 cups of sugar. Seems like a lot, and it is. That's why you don't sit and eat a whole jar of it at one time. This is just for special occasions and a treat. Now I'm gonna set my timer up here for 1 minute, because when it starts boiling, then we're gonna do it for 1 minute. Just make sure we got that sugar all incorporated in there. It's getting ready to go here in a minute. It takes a little bit after you put that sugar in it. There it goes. And we're gonna boil. It's gotta come to a full boil. And that looks like it. So we're gonna hit the one minute. It says 1 to 2 minutes, so. Let it go. There it goes. It's a boiling. Boy, that smells good. Okay, it's almost done. We're gonna go a little bit longer because I don't think I was quite to a rolling boil yet, so we'll go a little bit over a minute. It won't hurt it. Okay, I think I'm gonna take it off now. So I'm gonna just take it off the heat, and I'll get right back with you. I'm gonna get the jars out and get everything set up, and we'll go from there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we got this done. Now we're going to pour it into these jars, and you're gonna leave about a 1/4 inch headspace. Okay, this stuff's hot, so be careful. I'm gonna bring it up to about the rim of that. About a 1/4 inch. That's how full we're gonna fill them. Now I'm gonna go ahead and fill the rest of these jars, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, now I got all these little jars filled. I think you can see them. And make sure after you fill them, because you're gonna, it's real sugary. So if you get any around the lip of the jar, you need to wet your paper towel and wipe your rims really good before you go to put your lids on, okay? So then you're gonna get your, if you don't have one of these, they're really handy. You don't have to have one, but they're really handy to pick up your lids. And then you're gonna just put that on your jar. And you're gonna get your rings. And you're gonna put that on finger tight, okay? You don't want to crank down on it or nothing, just put finger tight. And then do another one. And get one loose here. And I'm not gonna go to. Put another rim on and just do it finger tight, okay? Finger tight, that's it. Then after you get all these done, we're gonna put them back in the water. We're gonna water bath them, okay, for 10 minutes. So you get all your jars done, put them in your canner, and you make sure there's 1 inch to 2 inches of water over your jars, okay? You're gonna can them for 10 minutes, then you're gonna pull them out, and you're gonna let them set for about 24 hours. And they should be set up. And we're gonna come back tomorrow, and I'm going to show you what it looks like after it's set all night. So I'll be back tomorrow, Lord willing, and I will show you all the rest of the what it looks like and the consistency and everything else. Maybe I'll make some bread or something, and we'll put it on some sourdough bread. That would be good. So I'll see y'all.